From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A ruling has been made in the lawsuit against the Rockin Our Bar and the county attorney and health department. I'm Annie Johnson with the full story coming up.
How 2 animal shelters are fighting back against animals being given up during the holidays.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. Holly Brantley has the morning off. Temperature's not all that like what we had yesterday, only the wind wasn't nearly as strong.
It may be a touch cooler by a degree or two, but that's about it. But there is no wind, and
right.
Well, I say that, but there is a touch.
Not like yesterday.
A lot of the wind-prone areas, areas like Innis, back toward Three Forks, Big Timber, Livingston, they're dealing with some strong winds there. The temperature's holding into the 30s. We do have a little more cloud cover early on, maybe a chance of a few flurries, but I don't think we're looking at significant snowfall for most of the area for the day today. It looks like highs into the mid to upper 30s. Generally pretty quiet conditions. Again, a few of those valleys may be dealing with some stronger winds at times. We're going to talk more about our snow potential. Also taking a look at some planets and a special occurrence coming up here in just a few minutes.
That's awesome. Those wind-prone areas are those areas that we report on it when the wind doesn't blow, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
exact opposite of what
Make sure I wanted to have my list was updated. 6:31 now, our top story this half hour. Day 2 of the lawsuit between the county attorney and health department and the Rockin Our Bar ended with a decision from the judge that the bar will have to close at 10 p.m. or face contempt charges. MTN's Annie Johnson covered the day in court and tells us what happens now.
The judge made her ruling in the case with the Gallatin County attorney and the Gallatin County Health Department against the Rockin Our Bar. Let's head to the courtroom for more.
This was a obviously very difficult decision for the community.
Wednesday continued day 2 of the hearing where the court heard concluding testimony from the owner of the Rockin Our Bar.
To use part of these monies, the Small Business Association money and the CARES money, to pay payroll that got to your employees, correct? And you're no longer able to ask for that money because you decided that you weren't going to follow the 10 p.m. closure rule.
In all due respect, I don't agree with that assessment.
After Hope testified for several hours between the attorneys, closing arguments were made.
And the preliminary injunction is needed to preserve the status quo and minimize the harm to all parties.
Let alone, was there any testimony or any basis that closing between 12:30 and 10 o'clock has any factual or scientific basis?
The judge's ruling upheld the health department's orders because she said the orders are presumably constitutional and within the department's authority. The judge's decision today just means that the owner of the Rockin Our Bar, Mike Hope, does have to follow local orders and close his bar by 10 p.m. And if he does not, then more legal action can be taken. His attorney said that then he would be held in contempt of court for going against the judge's orders, but he assured me that Mike will follow the orders and close the bar by 10 p.m. Reporting in Bozeman, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
6:33 now. The committee that recommends rules for the 2021 Montana legislature has rejected Democratic proposals to require masks in the Capitol or hold the session remotely or even delay it. Now, the vote followed party lines with majority Republicans carrying the measure. Republicans on the Rules Committee voted to create a GOP-controlled leadership response panel that will have the power to react to any COVID-19 crisis during the session. The session is scheduled to convene in person at the Capitol on January 4th. Now, the panel can restrict access to the Capitol if necessary, but it cannot require lawmakers to get COVID-19 tests or vaccines. Dozens of Montanans testified before that committee and urged lawmakers to not meet in person in Helena or to agree to wear masks and follow other public health guidelines to slow the spread of COVID-19. Republican State Senator Jason Ellsworth of Hamilton said members will get sick and it's possible they could die. But he said that could happen even if the legislature does not meet in Helena, and that it needs to get to work and get working on people's business. Closer to home, 2 animal shelters are making sure animals aren't going to be surrendered this holiday season. Caitlin Aguiles finds out what each shelter does to fight what's known as dumping season.
In the animal rescue world, this holiday season is called dumping season, when animals are bought as Christmas gifts and owners realize that they can't take care of them, or animals are given up because of financial troubles. At the Chelsea Bailey Animal Shelter in Butte Silverbow, Lynette Hogart said that the pandemic has caused a change of pace for adoption at the shelter.
We thought it would be difficult to get animals out, but it actually has been really nice because we're able to take more time with people and really get them the right pet.
But Hogart also said that many people in the community need help to feed their pets.
Because of COVID, I think we've had a lot of people needing extra assistance, and we do have assistance for food. If people need it, they can call our shelter and we will help them with food for their animals so that they can keep their animals in their home.
At Pintler Pets, many of these cats, dogs, and puppies are looking for good homes this winter.
But Pat Phillips said her shelter in Anaconda won't let potential adopters give their animals as just a Christmas gift.
We don't adopt out for Christmas presents and stuff like that, dogs or cats, because, you know, after Christmas it's like, oh, well, we don't want this dog or cat or whatever, or puppy, and so then they get brought to a shelter, brought back to the shelter.
Phillips said that she and her team are very careful about adoptions because they want to see the animals succeed instead of being brought back to the shelter.
So we're really, really picky who gets our animals, and some people don't like that, but I don't care. We're the advocates for the animals, and they can't speak for themselves.
In Butte, Caitlin Aguiles, MTN News.
6:36 now. This time of year, you may be looking to go somewhere warm, but don't waste your money on vacation deals that are too good to be true. Travel scams, the 9th of our scams of Christmas. Be careful of unsolicited email offers, especially ones that say you've won a luxury vacation, or companies that offer free vacations then pressure you to buy extras or add-ons, or you to verify your identity with a credit card number. We've also seen ads on Facebook from companies offering steeply discounted vacations if people sit through timeshare presentations.
It was a 3-day, 2-night stay at Summer Bay in Orlando with a free cruise.
For how much?
$99. Guess what? Never received it.
Yeah, it's best to use a credit card for your travel spending in case you need to dispute any charges. Always research the company, ask for references, and search for any online complaints. And when booking trips, make sure you know the cancellation policies and check for extra costs like resort fees and taxes. Take Web. This is just one of the 12 popular scams we see around the holidays. To learn about others, head on over to our website. Well, as we move closer to the holidays, mail carriers are expecting a big increase in deliveries. MTN's Shaquille Kozart checked out a post office just to see how many packages need to get under the tree before the holidays.
Well, with the COVID-19 pandemic causing more people to shop online this year, the United States Postal Service is experiencing a higher volume in package deliveries. Here at Pioneer Station behind me on 15th Street, they're experiencing just that. Post Office station managers said that the 2020 election contributed to a rise in mail earlier this year. But now, due to holiday shopping, the Post Office has already seen a 20% increase in package volume since December of 2019.
I think all the carriers in this particular building had almost 160, if not 170 parcels. So that's bigger packages. Smaller packages were close to 200. So each of them had about anywhere from 300 to 400 scans on them or in their vehicle on Monday alone. So that kind of shows you what they're dealing with every day.
One city carrier who's been working with USPS for a little over 2 years now says this year has definitely been different.
Monday was really bad with COVID and everything, just a lot more packages. People don't want to really go to stores, so doing that online shopping.
Station manager Sobere says that due to the volume of packages this year, people should plan to have their gifts ready for shipment no later than Monday for priority mail to ensure they arrive to their destination in time for the holidays. Reporting in Billings, I'm Shaquille Kozart with MTN News.
Now, Sobere says the people who are looking for a no-contact delivery option, they can log on to the USPS website, have package materials sent to their door, print out their shipping labels, and a carrier can pick up and ship their package. Well, Rabbi Chaim Baruch of Bozeman had to get creative with this year's Hanukkah celebration. So he thought back to his upbringing in New York. This year, with everyone's health and safety a priority, he had to think outside the box. So he organized a menorah parade, just like the ones he saw in his childhood driving from Brooklyn to Manhattan. The parade started east of downtown Bozeman, down Main Street to Four Corners, then to Belgrade, and ended up back at Bogart Park. He was passionate when we spoke to us about spreading positivity in the valley, and as he put it, combating darkness with light.
Hanukkah is the one that we want to do with everyone because light is something that is universal. With this message of light and with this message of Hanukkah, we're able to open our minds to realize that it's not my way or the highway. There are other ways of thinking. I don't have to agree with you. I just have to appreciate that there's other people that celebrate differently.
Now for the future, Rabbi hopes the menorah parade will become a new tradition for Bozeman. He says nothing can bring together a divided people more than light. I love that. A group of volunteers held a concert for residents and staff at Big Sky Senior Living yesterday in Butte. Musicians were playing outside to those looking out their windows. They wanted the residents and staff to feel less isolated during the pandemic. I love that. Super cool. It is now 6:40. Let's take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, we'll take a look at the dangers of winter sports and why in a pandemic that could be an added problem. But first, here's a look at what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, potentially encouraging news on the status of a second coronavirus vaccine and a happy surprise about the Pfizer vaccine doses that could mean an expanded supply in this country. Plus, the latest on one of the biggest snowstorms in years hitting states from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast. Yep, we got snow here in New York City. Also, in an interview you'll see only on CBS This Morning, the woman whose testimony helped take down the leader of the alleged NXIVM cult, why she's revealing her name, her story, and speaking publicly for the first time. And in our More Perfect Union series, we'll meet a group helping veterans and first responders improve their mental well-being by getting them behind the wheel and into the fast lane. Feels good to drive fast, doesn't it? It does. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on the dot.